Okay, we're going live.
Alrighty.
Hey. Now it gets kind of tricky right here because I gotta like pause the Facebook before I get back into the Zoom.
All right. All right.
Fortunately, we don't have the whole studio crew here with us today.
Okay.
Yeah, see us live here. Okay, we're
You
in good
want me
shape.
to you want me to pick a color?
Oh, if you want to like, yeah, sure,
No, I'm just saying for the
sure, yeah, no problem. We're live. Give everyone a second to hop on. If you're joining us, welcome to the Influencers. We have a great show for you today. Unfortunately, our original guest is a little bit under the weather, so we were able to bring you who was going to be my next guest today. But we'll be talking about Black-owned gaming, professional gaming. So super excited about this. Something that I'm super passionate about, as everyone knows. I'm super into tech. So this is really kind of the new wave and rave as well. I was not believing it, but I have since been suckered in. So we'll learn more here in a second. We'll give everyone a chance to hop on. I see we got about 4 people on with us currently. Want to make sure we give everybody an opportunity to jump in. If you have questions on Facebook today, please feel free to drop them. We will definitely be sure to get to them. And if you're watching us on the replay, please be sure to drop some questions if you have them today for today's guest. We would love to get those answered for you. We had a couple of technical difficulties this morning with our 11 a.m. show. So if you were looking for that, we're working on getting that on the page. We really appreciate you guys tuning in, and the influencers has been amazing. We truly have talked about some really awesome things with truly amazing guests. Give everybody one more minute to hop on. We get started about 6:03. We want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're only here for about 30 minutes. The beautiful thing about not being on the radio is that we don't have to cut it off right at 6:30. So if we run over just a little bit or we have a bunch of questions, we definitely want to make sure that we get those answered. And if you're joining us on the replay, please make sure that you engage with us. We still monitor our social media even when we're not live. So we definitely want to get some feedback and get any questions that you have answered. Making sure we're good. Sound sounds good. All right. Mustafa, how you doing, man? You good?
I'm good. I'm great, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to the Cincinnati Herald's Influencers. My name is Jourdan Ivory. This is a show to share the young voices. I'm your host today, and we're going to talk to one of my very good friends, Mustafa Salahuddin, about professional gaming and being a Black-owned professional gaming company. Knowing me, you know, I'm all about tech. I'm all about bridging the social tech gap. And one of the things that really combined my friendship and true trust and awesomeness into my father was that we shared the love of video games. So growing up, I watched an adult play video games. My father was sometimes more excited for some of the games that were coming out than I was. It was truly a blessing because I still to this day, as an adult, play video games. And it's a stress relief. It really relieves my angst. And now there are studies that are showing that gamification truly leads to a lot of health benefits. I'd first like to remind you guys, though, to check out the CincinnatiHerald.com this week. Okay, we got a lot of great things happening. Please make sure that you're staying in tune to what we have happening on the CincinnatiHerald.com. I know we have the Professional Pretty blog, as well as a lot of awesome things that are happening inside of Cincinnati and in our region. The Cincinnati Herald is one of the oldest Black-owned newspapers, and we are truly thankful to be on their platform here with the influencers. Let's jump into today's show. So I'm not going to give you the long introduction and read down your whole resume. You've done a lot of things, sir, but the most recent thing that you've done is jumped into your entrepreneurial journey. So I thought this was amazing, as you were going to be our next guest, and I appreciate you joining us live from your office. I know this is your streaming hours, okay? So you're taking some time for us today, which is amazing. But please introduce yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us who you are, what you own, and what you do.
Okay, my name is Mustafa Salahuddin. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am owner of Delta Kilo 11 Gaming. And my sphere of influence is essentially gaming.
That's amazing. So you are the owner founder of Delta Kilo 11 Gaming, which is a Black-owned gaming firm here in Cincinnati. You also have a gaming brand called the Worldwide Wilts, correct?
Yes, that is correct. And that is basically where the majority of the gaming goes on, especially on Call of Duty. If you've never heard of Call of Duty, it's a first-person shooter that people would know if they hear it, but it's basically essentially a space for people to game in Call of Duty specifically.
So people say that they play video games, right? What is gaming? Okay, when people say, "Oh, I'm a gamer," what does that mean? What is gaming?
Well, what is gaming? It's basically a full-time job. You dedicate, time and space like you would for any normal job and or career. And basically what you do is set aside time and you let people know that, hey, this is the content I'm creating for gaming, and I would think you should view this. And it's almost like selling a book or selling a movie and whatnot, because it's a media content space. So you try to acquire the following and what you need, and you go down day by day to try to assert that and try to get more followers.
So this is a content streaming platform, right? Something similar like Instagram, but viewed in a different format at a different length, correct?
Yes.
So tell me what's a primary platform that people would know about that like streams video games, or tell me about the different platforms that allow video game streaming to happen, because that stuff is licensed and copywritten, correct?
Of course, but usually when you're streaming or making videos for content, you have what's called commentation. So with that commentation, you have two platforms that people normally use. You have Twitch, you have YouTube, you have Mixer at one point, but Mixer unfortunately was bought out by Facebook Gaming, and I won't go into the details, but the main two platforms you have is Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is not only a creator's platform for all types of genres, but it's also a place for gamers. Twitch is mainly known for gamers, but it's also a platform for other types of content also.
It's really interesting. Sometimes I think that people, especially with tech, only see it from a one-sided facet, right? They only see, they think Twitch is only for gaming, but, like you said, it's also, for in real life entertainment as well, just like YouTube and content sharing. And people see YouTube for certain things. I was having a conversation with my mother just yesterday about what she watches on YouTube, and she watches a lot of YouTube lives. And I was like, YouTube live, you watch YouTube lives, so it's a content streaming platform. And so a lot of people, including my parents, thought it was very different when we started talking about professional gaming. Being a part of your team and being a part of the Worldwide Wilts, as well as the Delta Kilo 11 Gaming team, it's been amazing, because you shared with me in the foundational stages that there's not a lot of minorities in the streaming realm of video games. And there are people signing 5, 10, $15 million contracts. And we talk about low barrier of entry for individuals that may have a tattered record. This is something that you can do, right? This is something that's open to almost anyone as long as they can afford it. So talk to me about, what does it mean to truly pro game?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to a point that you just mentioned. So there's not a lot of people in this sphere that are minorities. Let me preface that comment. There are, but they're not recognizable. When it comes to especially Twitch, things like that, YouTube, they've paid gamers who are not minorities exclusive rights to stream on their platforms 10, 15, 20, even $30 million. But you don't see that from us, as Black people and minorities, and whatnot. Because even, Hispanic or whatnot, Native American, you don't see that from them. But at the same time, to be a pro gamer, it means that you are literally, you have a schedule, you have a set time, you have what would you call that? A notion to be able to tell people that, hey, this is my content, this is what I do for a living. Please absorb it and then give me my feedback so I can make it better.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So that's really where we're at when in terms of minorities. But when it comes to minorities, also, the sphere that we are in is only looked at from a small perspective, because you have the ninjas, you have the J Shrouds, you have the Courage JDs. Those guys are making crazy money. But on the flip side, you have a person named Swag, Christopher Swag Lambert, who is a Black streamer and is very prominent, but you don't see that amongst the big streamers and big gamers outside of just him, really, because he's young too. He's only like 23, but his name is out there, but he's one of the few.
Most definitely. And this is a space where money can be made and can be made from home. And in your,
Yes,
it's a work from home kind of job, right? And the
absolutely.
beautiful thing is that you can take it with you. When we travel, we take our PlayStations, our cameras. It's something that you can easily take with you. And even if, as you're saying, this gentleman is young. So, the ability to start streaming is almost at any age, right? That makes sense to stream video games, right? There's people that stream, we stream Call of Duty, right? But there's
Right,
people that stream Roblox. There's people
right.
that stream Fortnite. There's people that stream Dr. Mario, right? There's
Yes.
people that stream almost anything in the video game world, right? So,
Whatever video game you play is streamable.
and so you made a comment in our pre-conference about this meeting last week. Tell me more about that behind the scenes of streaming and what happens.
Well, most people think that streaming in reference to video gaming is easy. It's really not. To be honest with you, when it comes to streaming and when it comes to being a content creator from a YouTube side or whatever platform you choose to use, uh, editing comes into play, trying to pick the best content for your audience, your personality on camera, your personality off camera is a big thing, because say for me, for instance, when I first started streaming and first started editing and whatnot, it would take me like 4 to 5 hours to make the content, edit the content, put the content out for you to consume. So it's not just a slow process. I mean, it's not just a fast process like most people would see. It's a slow process and refined process to get to where you want to be in streaming. But back to what you said about gaming and whatnot, they're putting scholarships out there for us to be gamers, whatever color you are, minority or whatnot. There are avenues for you to pay for your college or pay for your lifestyle or pay for how you live through streaming and content creation.
Yeah, and so it's kind of interesting to me because I see it more so in the marketing realm as like an influencer marketing, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
ad space that can be bought inside of this streaming space, right? Not even just the monetization on YouTube, but when you're live online, you can sell some of that space, right? We watch some of these streamers that have, Rockstar, right? That have, big brands, Red Bull, that have Coca-Cola, that, have these large scale brands, right? So these big brands are buying into it. Let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you something. This is something that I would like for you to forecast. Do you think that there is space for small businesses, and do you think that there is enough leverageability in the space for small businesses to sponsor local gamers or gamers of any sort.
Yes, because look at it like this. It's like advertising, but advertising on a continuous level. So if a streamer streams for 6 hours and you pay him as a small business, like, hey, I need you to advertise this, guaranteed for those 6 hours, you're going to see your business, your logo, whatever you stand for, be on that stream for 6 hours. Let me put it to you like this. This is a guy named T Clean who does streaming. He's black, obviously African American, and he promotes this apparel company called HGC. And HGC is always on his stream. It's always visible. And guess what? Their sales have completely went through the roof, and they're considered a small business. Small business would behooved to invest in gamership because one, whenever they go live, which is normally on a daily basis, or whenever they create content, which is on a daily basis, they will promote your product or service.
Yeah, and one thing that I always talk about in marketing is that you want things to be able to be repurposed, right? You want to spend that money, but you want to be able to utilize that content, that piece of creation to be able to spread out across a bunch of different platforms. And the one thing that blew my mind about gaming is, like you're saying, number one, they're live, but also that content that's being created is something that's being stored on a space like Twitch or YouTube that then can be viewed at a later time. So even as that person grows, right, that content is still heir apparent. So you're paying for space that is, I don't want to say infinite, right? Because you could delete that video.
No, it is infinite. It is infinite.
But it's infinite, right? And especially if they capture it, you know? So the beauty of what I think we've talked about is that all games are kind of streamed, right? There's this hype. You got to say the name of this game because I can't say it. Tell me what you're about to stream.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, so I was just at home yesterday. My father was talking about seeing previews for this game, so that's how I know it's serious. Yeah. But also, we share a nephew that also watches streamers just play random games. And ironically enough, he showed us as well that on Nickelodeon, they have a streamer show. So there are games that are just being streamed and then commentated over. So content that's being created. And the thing is, I think that what we're missing out on is the fact that this encompasses almost all ages, because your content you create is on Twitch, it's on YouTube, but you also then repurpose that into marketing materials on your social media, correct? As well as putting it on different spaces to then be shared out. So you have it in multiple platforms and formats. And so the visibility of it is extremely high, right?
Not only extremely high, is like you said, it's infinite, because just one swipe, one click, one anything for whatever you're promoting, especially when it comes to small businesses, let me tell you this, look at me when I say this. If you invest in streamers, if you invest in gaming, guess what? That space is untapped. And when I mean that space is untapped when it comes to marketing, it is untapped to the unbelievable potential, because if I'm streaming 6 hours, not only I get it live, but if somebody goes back and be like, oh, I'm gonna click on this, guess what? They see that. And guess what? They'll continuously see that for those 6 hours that they're watching me. But they might not even know who you are, but they know who I am. And they're seeing that. And then they like, oh, let me check this out. And when they check this out, guess what? They're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their families, they're going to tell their coworkers, they're going to tell so on and so forth. And guess what? That is unlimited marketing from you for supporting one streamer.
Yeah, and it's the one thing that I have found ironic about it truly is that it's awesome to talk about, because a lot of people play video games, but as adults, and especially in professional spaces, it's not always something that's discussed. Ironically enough, we play, especially on our Delta DK Gaming and Worldwide Wilts teams, we play with, a CIO of a high-level company here in the local area. We're working with, some of Staff Mark's highest people in the region. And these individuals play video games, you know, in their off time, and laughed at us when we talked about professional gaming. And now are talking about attempting to add that as a piece of revenue, right? So the one thing that I think is neat, and I always pride, you know, telling people and talking about and receiving feedback as you discussed, is that there's the ability to stream almost anything. And we know that from Facebook Live, IG Live, right? And even being able to take this Zoom platform and share it to Facebook and stream it live, right? So we have all these different platforms. You said something really strong to me about it being untapped. You know, there's a lot of individuals that are in the space that are getting thousands of views daily that don't have those small business sponsorships, that don't have the ability to build. And it's not just about having your logo on the screen, but also having an individual in your clothing. You know, you have a SkyTech banner behind you. You have SkyTech Gaming. One of your sponsor brands, of course, is Bearskin Styles, and which is a local Black-owned business. You know, you have a S Racer chair. You know, you're playing on sponsored stuff. So, you know, there's obviously monetary value here. But the thing is that it's available to kind of create in all of the space, right? It's available to customize what you want, and is almost like this untapped influencer sphere. So I gave a little spiel there, but we are talking about it from a very surface level at this point. Let's talk about some numbers for the people. Let's talk about some numbers for the people. Okay. Yes, I could be a pro gamer, but that costs money. I have to have a TV. I got to have internet, right? There's got to be a controller, a proper headset, right? A camera. There's all these different things, right? Talk to me about what it looks like from a very realistic, and don't be afraid to give me a high ball number two, low ball side, okay? Give me what you think like a starter would have, all the way up to what maybe that like J Swag has, right?
Okay, so I'll give you me. You have the beginner streamer, and then you have me, which is a beginner streamer, but who had the capital to invest in what he wanted to do. And then you have people like Nick Merckx, you have Swag, T Clean, those people like that. So first tier, all you need is a console, or a PC, or a computer, and some type of way to stream from that console or PC or computer. Then you have me, who has a whole setup, who was able to invest, who's a beginner streamer, and he has a gaming PC, which you see here. SkyTech, they bless me, thank God. I have a good mic, and so we have like the $700 to $1,000 tier on the first tier. My tier, you have the $3,000 to $5,000 tier. Then you have tiers beyond 5,000, and the tiers beyond 5,000 is they invest in promotion, paid promotion of their product, product or service, which would be Instagram videos, YouTube videos, and Twitch. I'm primarily, most of my money is tied up in which would be the actual equipment itself, and then I'm building on that, you know. So because people look at me and they see Swag, our quality of streams is no different, you know what I'm saying? So when they look at that, they be like, hey, okay, I can get with this guy because he has the quality audio, he has the quality mic, he has the quality everything. But also, even if you don't have that quality, your personality and your ability to game will propel you to those heights of the tier 3, which is 5,000 or above. You know what I'm saying? Because people will invest in you. You know what I'm saying? I invested in myself, but people will also invest in you if you're not at that, if you're still at that tier 1. You know what I'm saying? And it's behooved upon the people who game to understand that. Because look, my mother told me when I was young that you playing video games, all this, that, and the third won't lead to nothing. But my mother has left this earth within the past 8 months. And before that, she told me when she seen me gaming and she saw me creating content, she was like, you need to pursue that. And so that's what I did. And when I'm doing that, it brings forth the things that I need to in terms of my self-worth, but not only my self-worth, but feeling good about bringing people the entertainment. And that's a small thing that you can do even from a person who doesn't have the money to do it. And that's the perfect thing about gaming, because you can do what you love on a constant basis and make money from it.
Sounds like a dream job. Sounds
Somewhat,
like what everybody dreams of, right? You know, so that's amazing. Now, Mustafa, please tell the people where they can find your content on YouTube as well as on Twitch. Tell us how often we can find you streaming live.
My stream, you can find me daily at twitch.tv/bestgamer41. Wait, let me back up. Make sure your name is uniform across all things that you do in terms of your streaming, because mine is not, and it's convoluted. I'm sorry about that. But twitch.tv/bestgamer is my Twitch at right now. My YouTube is basically go to the search in YouTube, go to Delta Kilo 11. That will be my uniform name once I'm able to do so. Delta Kilo 11, and you can find me doing my thing in terms of the gaming sphere. And also
where can we find you on Instagram?
Instagram on billionaire 41 big B's 41 billionaire 41. And guess what, you'll see me doing my thing in reference to my gaming, and you will understand where I'm coming from.
You're a phenomenal gamer, man. I really appreciate you taking this time out to talk with us. I know your time is money, so we really appreciate you being here.
No, we can talk all day if you want. I'm about educating people. I'm about educating people.
Most definitely, most definitely. And the wild thing is that you brought me onto the game, and it was something that I hadn't picked up. But you showed me that it was something that we could do in our meantime and make a couple dollars, and also create network, brotherhood, friendship, and further the connection with individuals that have since moved out of our physical space. So I really wanted to say thank you for that, but also that you opened my eyes to that. This is an untapped space. And here in Ohio, you have the ability to get certified in gamification. And before COVID, there was a lot
quickly
happening.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, look. Minority gamers, look at me when I say this. There are opportunities out there for you to succeed off the gaming that you are doing. You can get scholarships. You can get ways to make your own living. Don't forget those things. And what I told Jourdan right here is that we can make a space for us to make ourselves feel good and not be under the microscope of anyone. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you need to understand. And I know that you understand that as a young Black man, young minority coming from me. Trust me, I'm not under the microscope of anyone. And I get to do what I love. And that's what we should all strive for.
Most definitely. Mustafa, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to further connecting with you, man. Keep doing your thing in the gaming sphere, and definitely keep killing it for us, because we're definitely
yes. Hey, Delta Kilo 11.
Yes, sir.
Look out.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a great day. You guys are tuned into the influencers. I need you to check out the CincinnatiHerald.com, okay, on a daily basis. If you don't have a subscription, I need you to get one. We've got one coming right here to our house. I need you to make sure. I know Mustafa's got one coming to his house, okay? The subscriptions are very, very, very affordable, okay? I want you to check them out. CincinnatiHerald.com. We also have a lot of digital assets. Let me shout out again our fellow influencer, Morgan A. Owens. She does her thing at the Professional Pretty blog as well, which is hosted at the CincinnatiHerald.com. This has been the influencers. And typically we're on the radio, but due to COVID, we're here online. We're able to reach everyone in the Facebook sphere. So thank you for joining us today. I know we've got a lot of people in and out. If you have questions and you're watching us on the replay, please drop them in the bottom. I will make sure that Mustafa gets them and he shouts you back out. Look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday. We've got a show at 11 a.m. and a show at 6 p.m. Okay, tune in. This has been The Influencers with Jourdan Ivory, powered by the Cincinnati Herald. See you soon.